Look at the numbers that just came in, the 5 o'clock advisory. Sustained wind, sustained at 180, gusts to 220 miles an hour with the storm.
Only diesel.
Breaking news, a brand new forecast just in moments ago for Hurricane Milton, which is heading right towards Florida as an extremely dangerous Category 5 hurricane.
It's really starting to rain out there now. Getting wet.
Here's a closer look at the satellite imagery of Milton. I just want to point something out. Look at that eye shrinking.
This is not a matter of if we lose power, it's a matter of when we lose power.
You can see that.
You know your...
Whoa.
Was that power?
RV's leaking. We have water. And it's coming from...
No, that was power lines.
No.
That was power lines.
Getting ready for the storm, so figured it'd be a good idea to get the generator out here, and went to just do a test fire and the cord came off. So now I get to go to Home Depot and see if I can find some more string. Whew. We do have the battery backup in the garage that will plug into the house, but I can also run this generator. Mosquitoes. I mean, if we're only going to be out of power for like a day, the battery backup should work fine. But if it's going to be a couple days, we're definitely going to need the generator. So I'm going to make myself a little Home Depot run. Well, this should be interesting.
It's kind of like deja vu, because if you have been watching this channel for any length of time, you might remember that almost like 2 years ago, I don't know if it's to the date, but close. Our original plans right now are completely getting destroyed as far as being able to pull out of our home base here in Central Florida because of Hurricane Ian. So right now, we were supposed to leave Thursday night after the kids were done with their sports practice, and everything's been canceled. We were scrambling to make it on time to be contestants on the first ever RV Unplugged, and we were scrambling because of Hurricane Ian that was coming. And
it is as bad as the experts feared. Hurricane Ian has made landfall in Florida, and the experts say if you had plans to leave and haven't, stay where you are.
Here we are again.
Except this time, it's not going to go up and over us. It's going to go right directly
at this point. They're projecting that
to us.
Yeah, that this is going to be worse. We've been getting a lot of messages on Facebook and things like that. Some of you guys are like asking why we're not evacuating or anything. So a couple of things. Number one, if we felt like our lives were in danger, we would be getting the heck out of Dodge.
We're further inland, so the strength will go down as it, comes in.
But we are prepping and
prepping.
We're prepping.
Preppers.
I have the best stocked survival shelter in northeastern Pennsylvania, but everything has a shelf life, so I must eat and then replace everything that's about to expire.
The biggest thing that is to our advantage is this right here, because we've got everything we need right here.
Oh man, we've got backups of backups of backups.
And so anyway, what we wanted to do was something a little bit different. We wanted to take you along with us over the next 3-ish days while we're preparing, really waiting, and then during Hurricane Milton, and we don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like there's all sorts of things. There's people saying it's going to be very minimal. There's people saying that this is like 100-year level hurricane and it's going to be extremely catastrophic.
Second from Katrina.
So
and we will lose power. There's a guarantee that we will be without power.
We just don't know for how long.
Right.
We've got some really interesting things that we've set up as far as backups.
Yeah, why don't you show them what we have? So one is right here. We've got this little, I showed you this yesterday, the 4000 XL. I did have to tie that little rope on there to get it started.
Ingenuity.
Yep.
Anytime that you have to make a fix on the fly, we started calling that RV ingenuity, because once that you're an RVer, you learn how do you fix something on your own with minimal parts. Like you just got to figure it out and get it done. So that's RV ingenuity at its finest right there.
What about internet? So we've got a really cool video coming to you guys shortly, but I'm testing out one thing. I've got this little port here that I'm plugging in over to, let me show you. Oh, and I got a few things up there I'll show you later in another video too. But I have the cord running to the side of the house. And that's gonna be backup internet. So this is backing up to the house. So if our spectrum goes out, then the RV internet will kick in. So we'll have power, everything's on 12 volts, so it's tied to the batteries, so
Oh, you know what I was just thinking too?
lose power, we'll be okay.
I need to flip the fridge on in here just in case we end up needing that. So I was gonna go flip that real fast.
Yep.
Thankfully, we have some auxiliary batteries, which we love for just RVing anyway. So we've got a Jackery Explorer 1000. We have a Ampace 1500. And then we have the very large Anchor Solix F3800. So that actually is a whole house, minus the AC, of course.
Let's go hook that up real quick and we'll show them what it does. A little sneak peek. Sneak peek.
So not only during this hurricane, but also when out and about exploring on our travels, one thing we always want to have on hand are some snacks that are not only healthy, but that don't require climate control. This is where we've recently been introduced to Carnivore Snax, and these are a game changer because it's made from only 2 ingredients, meat and salt. That's it. No additives, no unhealthy seasonings, and no unnecessary marinades weighing it down. You get exactly what you pay for, high quality meat from regenerative farms right here in the US. And as a side note, regenerative agriculture is a farming practice that's all about restoring nutrients into the soil. The unique texture of the Carnivore Snax is a perfect mix between a slight chew and a light crisp, totally unlike jerky. And that's because these snacks are made from prized cuts like ribeye, New York strip, and tenderloin, not the tough, cheap cuts you find in traditional jerky. Each 5-ounce bag is made from about a full pound of meat and can serve as a full meal or just a satisfying snack between meals. High in protein and 0 carbs, it's designed for both a quick bite or full meal on the go. Carnivore Snax has you covered. Try it for yourself and taste the difference in every bite. I know we're loving it. You can visit gratefulglamper.com/carnivore and use the code GLAMPER15 or click the link in the description below for 15% off your order. And a huge thanks to Carnivore Snax for sponsoring this video.
This is a big boy. Anchor Solix. Oh my gosh, that's heavy. Good thing I can suitcase it around like this. All right, so let's take it over here. Okay, so this is gonna go into here. And then this is gonna go, just kidding, is gonna go into here. And we are now powered up in case of a failure. I'll come to this transfer switch and then move it from the line to the gen. So our hot water heater, kitchen plugs, microwave, fridge, laundry, master bedroom, office, and kitchen lights will all be connected.
Our neighbor was saying that when Charlie came through 20 years ago, they were without power for 11 days. So if for some reason we need to conserve power, we can always forego the hot water heater and just go shower out in the RV because we've got the propane tankless water heater in the RV.
Yeah, this is what you call a DeadMans Plug. So this is male on both ends. And they call it a DeadMans Plug.
Because you shouldn't have boys on both ends. Just kidding.
That's what he said, right?
Yes, very true. But also, this plugged into the house. Then you're supposed to disconnect the main back to the grid, just so you don't shock an electrical worker. This goes into the generator, and then this back feeds to our house.
Coupled a transcendental hopper datoscope with a spiral decommutator via the application of anhydrous angling pins.
What we can do is we can actually plug in both at the same time. have the battery backup doing most of the main appliances overnight. And then if we want to put on the generator, keep on my face, but then
You're a camera hog.
I know we can run both. So this is back feeding, powering the well and other appliances, because this is just a smaller generator. But the reason we put this in is it's safer, because it's got the female plug and it will only power the devices we absolutely need. This sits outside of the garage with the generator running, and just need to watch it, because if one of these gets unplugged, the other end is live. So we got the anchor plugged in, ready to go. So if we lose power in the middle of the night, all I have to do is just go out to the garage, flip a couple switches. I don't have to figure out this generator, at least to get us by for the night. So the kids have their fans.
I have
You've got your
my
fan,
white noise.
your white noise.
So a couple of things like that's really nice about being RVers in this particular scenario. Let's say that things just got where it was miserable because of humidity, right? First of all, the temps are not supposed to be that high. In fact, the lows at night are supposed to be in the upper 60s, which is very reasonable. And we can run ceiling fans because we have power to those. If things got super miserable, because we're thinking more storm aftermath, right? Like you can't, like you, it's weird. It's a weird thing. So we're prepping, right? They tell us the storm is coming.
But you can see the hurricane warnings in that red color across much of the central part of the Florida, of the state.
It's a really weird thing where you're just like playing this waiting game, and like everybody's like kind of on edge, and it's
hurricane warning. Take emergency.
Streets were abandoned as large parts of Florida were designated evacuation zones.
But
All
yet
the water and
there's nothing.
Toilet paper is gone.
Oh no, it's happening again. Panic buying for toilet paper.
Everybody's panic buying right now.
Social media is flooded with empty store shelves.
Nothing's happening yet, right? Nothing's gonna happen for another 48-ish hours at this point. But schools are closed, it's weird. So anyway, the biggest thing is during that storm. So during that 6 hours where we don't know what's gonna happen. We don't know, I mean, we will probably lose power. We don't know for how long, you know, all of these things. But having the RV, if things got super miserable, we literally just move into here. We run the air conditioners in here. We have our solar setup, which obviously if there's rain, we're not gonna generate solar, but we have the generator in the RV. We've got...
And then we can recharge the anchor with the generator on the RV.
Recharge everything with the RV and or solar, because after the storm has moved through, we will have sun. It's just, how long is the aftermath gonna last? Right? How much damage is there going to be? How much damage to the electrical infrastructure is there going to be? That's the bigger question that we don't know. And that nobody really knows. We could be without power for weeks. And we could be without power. And when Ian came through, it was 8 hours. So,
but Mr. Don over there, the neighbor, said the longest he's been out is about 11 days. So
when Charlie came through 20 years ago, it's interesting. I looked that up. 20 years ago was Charlie in 2004. And here it is 2024. So we'll see. Like, we've done everything we can with the RV. Slides are in, awnings are in. People have asked if we're worried about tipping over. Dudes, the gross vehicle weight rating on this thing's 37,000 pounds.
Bottom heavy.
It's going nowhere. So the bigger thing is trees, which we have trimmed back any and all trees for the most part. I mean, if this
we won't be parking underneath any of these trees.
We've done everything we can, literally from the time we bought this property, to mitigate any of that. So here we go.
So wish us luck. We'll take you with us and show you how bad the storm is.
What it's like to ride out a hurricane in Florida. So I just got a text.
Yes.
And Tim and Stacy are gonna come weather this storm with us.
Yes!
We're gonna have a hurricane party.
Hurricane party!
So
I'll bring the cookies.
So my cousin that lives in Tampa, they are now evacuated.
Okay.
So they were trying to decide what they wanted to do for sure, but they decided they're gonna come here because we got lots of power.
Lots of power and backup internet.
Backup internet, all the things. So
they're on their way now?
They're on their way now. She said she'd let me know ETA here in a little bit. Traffic, I'm sure, getting out of Tampa is crazy. So Yay!
Our favorite buddies.
We don't get
They're the ones who helped
We're gonna
us
do this alone.
that found and toured the home base before we even bought it. So they were in it before we bought it and gave us a FaceTime showing it to us. We didn't even step foot in it.
We've been to the Keys with Tim and anyway.
Yeah, they're good people.
They're some of our favorite Florida family.
So this is before the storm. Before the storm. Okay. So one thing that I came across is that you're supposed to actually trim some of the like shoots and stuff off of like banana trees and anything that's heavy on the top. And I was just thinking I should probably trim the little shoots off of the palm tree there. I'm just gonna go ahead and just cut those off just so they're so heavy, and that way the tree isn't top heavy and doesn't blow over, because the roots on these palm trees are not in the ground as well as like an oak tree. So I gotta climb way up there. Big ladder. This guy should do the trick. This will extend out so I don't have to climb quite as high. Oh yeah, you can see the wind coming. That way it's not so top heavy. Ugh. There's so many like seeds on here. This thing's heavy. Timber. All right, so got all of these off. These are all down right as it starts raining. All right, so here's kind of the state of the union right now with the weather. Just getting a little bit of rain right now. It's not on path to actually hit us up, you know, dead center. So we're on the outskirts right now, so that's good. But that doesn't mean we're not gonna have a lot of wind. So we've got this big tree here, and I don't want XB underneath that tree. That would be bad. And that would mess up what I have going on up here that I'm gonna be sharing with you guys shortly. Excited. So I think I might drive it around the grass here, put it in 4-wheel drive, and then bring it around here, and then right in front of the RV, I think it might be sheltered right over here. Not a lot of trees up here. We got a few oak trees, live oaks. And then this is our little garden we have started here. Fire pit. And then right here, if I put the Expedition, it might be sheltered. One thing I'm concerned about, I've trimmed up all the trees and the citrus and everything, but you'll see that this avocado tree is getting really tall, and I'm a little concerned about that. And then the banana tree, so I've trimmed off any shoots, any heavy shoots there, so hopefully won't have an issue. We did have this tree trimmed up, so if it did, a branch fell, it wouldn't hit the lanai. We should be good for the most part there. We had some really big branches over the top of that. Just need to hurry up and see if we have anything dropping there. Nothing yet. All right, no lines. What do you think? Will it be safe there? Should be. Put all my moringa plants that are in pots inside, so they will avoid the brunt of it. These guys, I can't wait to make some tea out of it. This is a superfood. Check it out, moringa. Wind's starting to pick up now. You can see the bird of paradise blowing a little bit. That's gonna probably get shredded. Should probably take this glass guy, put it inside here. Charity, I got this for Charity. It glows. It's solar, so it lights up at night. She loves that. Over here, I've got a couple of 5-gallon jugs of gas. The generator is ready to go. And I've got a tank right there that is going to be for this guy right here, in case I need to saw my way out of here.
33 cc's gas!
On the last one, we had a couple big branches fall from up there, and I couldn't even get out with the RV, so I had to bring the chainsaw out early in the morning to leave.
Right now we're going to cut up this tree, so this is amazing.
We're gonna go ahead and cut this bad boy up so we can get the RV out.
I mean, look at this thing. This thing's a monster.
Wednesday, 5/24. It is raining pretty good. Lots of water coming out. They say it's supposed to hit us in Orlando here around 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. So, wish us luck. We are currently smoking some lamb ribs. Dakota's got a fan set up blowing the smoke out. So how's it looking? Yep, that's gonna be good. Got this little Inkbird thermometer that you can put probes on and connect it to the Wi-Fi. So we just kind of set it and forget it. It'll warn us when it's getting close to being done. Okay, so it's really starting to rain out there now. Getting wet. So I've got to empty the pool. Emptying the pool. What are you doing? Dancing in the rain? Look at it. Look at all this. Oh my gosh. Look at all this. Let me get these cords away.
My gutter?
Yeah, that's just from the rain water.
Rain jacket works nice.
That's it? Good.
I just got it the other day.
Nice. I like it. Okay, 6:46 on Wednesday the 9th. It's really starting to rain. And so I'm taking the recycle and the trash in, going to put it in the garage. Sorry for any lizards underneath there. Acorns. Look at all that water coming out so far. Oh yeah. This is gonna be a doozy, guys. It's gonna be a doozy. All right, shutting the garage doors. We'll give you an update soon when we get woken up in the middle of the night. All right, what do you do when there's a hurricane?
Make cookies.
Make cookies.
Hurricane cookies.
Hurricane cookies. And watch a movie. What are we gonna watch?
It goes without saying, all of us were nervous since these storms can be so unpredictable in not only their strength, but also their path. So we tried to distract our minds with passing the time together, hanging out, watching movies, and eating homemade cookies. We're thankful to have family in Florida close by, and even more thankful to be able to spend time together. Sometimes life gets busy, and waiting for this storm to hit was a sort of forced slowdown for us. So we continued our experiences over things mantra by sharing this experience of riding out Hurricane Milton all together.
How is it? Whoa.
Oh my god.
Get the trees up there.
I can't see anything.
Look at that. You can see that.
Dad, you know your.
Whoa.
Was that power?
No,
No, that was power lines.
No, it's like
no.
That was power lines. I'm glad I caught that on camera. So right now, update on Hurricane Milton. 30-mile-an-hour winds.
Whoa.
It's almost like scary.
That's crazy,
Here,
man. Look at that.
listen,
wow.
listen to
Oh
this.
my gosh. Look at it. Oh.
Hold on. No, literally, these trees are literally gonna bend.
Yeah.
Just here in a few minutes.
Those are pine trees.
Yeah, pine trees. At least maybe a good 50, 60 feet tall.
Yeah.
Bending almost literally in half.
Dang.
One of those branches is already broken. I can see it.
Yeah.
This is not a matter of if we lose power, it's a matter of when we lose power. It's like another Hurricane Ian.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, look at this wind, bro.
Oh!
Look at this palm tree. Look at this. Did a branch fly in here?
Okay, it's about 1:30. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. The RV's leaking. We have water, and it's coming from this. We need to get a bucket or something. Dang, that's a big bummer. Okay, so I put some buckets underneath so it'll catch all the water. This is a mess. Soaked.
At least I'm wearing a rain jacket.
Look at how soaked she is.
I just got the wind blew me against the RV a little bit, and
She got doused. Luckily, you got that rain jacket on.
Yeah.
Ooh-wee. Okay, so we just lost power. So I'm gonna go ahead and just flip the switch here and turn the power back on. Use our battery backup. God. It's gonna need the water heater, so. There we go. Now we should have power and success. Okay, plugging in the fridge back in. Okay, back in action. You can hear it running. Then I'm gonna bring in the Jackery for Trinity so she has a fan. Just choke it.
No, I don't think you want to.
Huh? No, we can plug in the cord after. All right, so we've got our generator connected. Wait, hold on, Dakota. We need to turn this on, turn it to run. Okay, turn the fuel line on. Choke it.
It's already
It's choked. Okay, go ahead and pull it. Start it.
Not strong enough.
We got the. Drain the pool. Here's the after. See some trees down. Not too shabby, not too bad, nothing big.
Well, the storm is over. You can probably hear the generator running over on the other side. I'm gonna set this back up the way that we like it, as far as getting the slides out and everything, but also checking the inside. Ben said that we had water leaks. The good news is we are going back up to RV roof. Actually, it's already scheduled in a couple weeks to get some of the solar panels sealed that weren't. So I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna figure out where we've got the leaks coming from, maybe, just so that we have a better idea of that too. But also just checking over things, making sure everything looks good in here, and some of the general cleanup. So let's get this going. There's definitely a wet spot there. I think it might have been coming from here, which Ben thought was coming from there when he was in here last night. So definitely this is a Lord, that's a lot of water that came in. Oh, yuck. What a flippin' mess this is. Oh, get to clean this up now. And then another problematic spot that I was concerned about, back here in the bedroom, it felt like that I was seeing daylight through this window right here. So I was kind of concerned that maybe, I don't know, it's hard to tell like if this was shut all the way. So, but it does feel dry, so I think we're good there. So that's good. Definitely not any issues there, but out here, be drying this out right now at the moment. Hopefully don't find any more issues. That is a lot of water in this bucket. I am so glad that Ben came out and put this in here last night. That would have been really, really bad. So thankfully the max air fan in the bathroom looks good. And then the last time that the hurricane came through with Ian 2 years ago, there was like a small spot in the bathroom that I think just from the wind and the rain that some water did get in, but there's nothing there, so that's dry, so that's good. Yeah, other than for whatever reason this one max air fan decided to start leaking, no other water leaks, which is good. The roof's doing its job. Just obviously we have a couple of things that we need to get adjusted on that. I found something else out here that's wet, but this is a mystery because this is weird. I don't know where it would come from, but right along here in this corner.
What?
Yeah. So that makes zero sense.
Oh, jeez.
Because I opened.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Like I opened this up.
Yeah, it filled up in the water heater side of things.
Oh, do you think from the vent? Because it's
yeah,
open?
Over there. It blew in.
Okay. So that means A, we don't have like a problematic leak, but also B, it means that if there's going to be wind and rain,
I need to cover it somehow. I mean, it better cover. So this Furrion water heater door didn't fit. So I had to reuse the old one and I had to screw it on, unfortunately. And there is a little gap in a hole here I need to fabricate. So wind was blowing and the rain was coming in the side here. So that was my bad, my mistake. I should have covered that up. I need to modify this. Probably put some kind of little quick release things here so I can kind of pop this back off instead of screw and unscrew it. So
lesson learned, if you're gonna have really windy, rainy conditions, cover up those vent areas, especially because we're not, I mean, obviously we're not using the water heater in the middle of a hurricane.
So it was coming in sideways, the rain and wind, so.
That's it. Okay. Well, that at least like makes me feel better about like nothing going on with the roof.
Yes. Let's go get the dehumidifier and plug that in.
Yeah, and run some ACs. And
sorry for the noise. We've got a generator going to power our house, but the nice thing about having battery packs, this morning we've been delivering battery packs to all of our neighbors, and I'm going to take this one over to one of our other neighbors that wanted to make some coffee and run their refrigerator. Since we can just be a blessing to them, I'm going to go ahead and just take this over.
And we got the RV, we got it all.
We got everything, so we can help others out.
Hella noisy out there right now with just everything that's going on, generators. And I do think the one thing just about natural disasters, right? Whether it's a tornado or hurricane or just just any sort of like disaster, the one thing I will say that is kind of like cool in a way is you do see how community comes together. So we've had so many people checking on us, texting us. Of course, my cousin and his wife, they came over to basically be with us because they were in a flood zone. They were predicted to flood. We found out this morning they did not flood. There was one neighbor that stayed behind in their subdivision and reported back this morning that the water came up on the street, but it didn't come up their driveway like that they were concerned. So praise God, no flooding for them. They went back home. They actually have power. Interestingly enough, in their neighborhood, we do not. The majority of this whole area is without power. So we'll see how long that goes. But it just like restores some faith in humanity, especially with all the craziness in the world right now. When you just see how community comes together and everybody comes together and people are just, you know, how can we help out? And neighbors being neighbors, and you talk to your neighbors where maybe you don't normally talk to your neighbors, because this just brings all of that out. And so, not that we would ever wish hurricanes or natural disasters or anything like that on anyone, but it really does just restore your faith in humanity. And I think that's one of the things we love about the RV community, is that we're already that way anyway. And so just solidifies that community aspect. And one of the things that we just love about this lifestyle is the community.
So we need to start the generator because the batteries are now down to 50%. I've been charging batteries back up to bring to people, and just the leaf blower, you know, blowing off the driveway.
We're not getting much solar is the thing.
And no
because
solar.
Of the clouds.
But,
I mean, there's some, but it's...
So we gotta start the
generator. It's available. So yeah, so we'll get that started and then let the cleanup commence.
All right. And you know what? It's good to start the generator every once in a while. Anyways. There we go. So we're gonna go deliver a battery to some friends. We got this little Ampace battery down here. Some of our friends didn't have power in their fridge, so we brought one over to our neighbors so they could power their fridge, and we're gonna bring one to these guys, and so that's cool that we can be a blessing.
Driving around, seeing the aftermath of a storm like this really does make one thankful that we just didn't get hit that hard. Being without power is a small inconvenience, especially in a day and age when things like large battery banks are now a thing.
All right, what do you think, Dakota? Should we go through this?
Let's do it. Come on, let's go.
You wanna do it?
Yeah, let's do
All
it.
right, let's do it. Oh, no cars behind me.
Go.
And whoa! Yeah! Woo!
You could have gone faster though.
Okay, that was fun. Probably could have. Whoa, did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard
the
that.
belt?
Was that your belt?
Yeah. Got a little bit in the engine. All right.
That's fun.
Kids, don't try that at home. And don't do what I do, son. I'm a bad role model.
Yes, you are.
Only diesel. The generator for the house was running low on fuel since it's now been on for about 10 hours. But the problem is, many fuel stations ran out of fuel and trucks haven't been able to make it in to refuel the stations. Thankfully, we found fuel at a Wawa, so now to get in line and wait our turn. Not going very fast. Uh-oh. Does that mean that there's not much fuel in there? Jeez Louise. What a wreck. So they're dealing with trees here. So I'll be turning around. So I've got the generator running, but it'll only charge so fast. So I'm actually plugging in to the RV another charger and charging the batteries with the charger. That way it'll top them off a little bit faster, because for some reason this 60 amp Onan generator we have on here, it's only charging it half as fast. So I've got to figure that out. Looks like the power people are coming down to check out all the transformers and turn the power back on.
Hopefully they're like doing a visual inspection, because we heard that they have to visually inspect like every pole along the line before they can make any repairs. So hopefully they've like checked everyone and they're like, yep, checks. Oh, that would be like such a miracle.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, it would be. So here's the deal. Kind of just catch you all up. So Milton did come through. We took the brunt of it at about 4 a.m. and that's when we lost power. Was it about 4 a.m.? Like somebody else.
Some guy on his lawnmower.
This is funny. Sometimes y'all, like seriously, Florida can be really redneck.
Some guy on his John Deere over there.
That's when we lost power. And that's when we kind of like, that's when the height of the strength of the storm that we experienced came through. It was very similar to Ian. It ended up going south, kind of off path from what it was projected, which was better for us because then we didn't take the full brunt of the storm. And we came through okay. So like seriously, it could have been 10 times worse. As far as our property goes, we were good. We totally had the Lord's protection. I know so many of you guys like wrote to us, texted, sent messages that you guys were praying for us. We so appreciate that. And the one thing I will say is being an RVer, you really become prepared for times like this because you're used to, how do I live off grid? How do I manage electricity? How do I manage water? How do I manage all of these resources? So then when you come into a disaster and resources are now limited, you are used to understanding how to manage those things. And so really, like being an RVer is the best case scenario when something like this happens, especially having the RV here at the Hideaway, because we've got all the resources that we need really even right here, and we were fine. So you'll have to check out this video right up here because you should, and you'll like it a lot. You should just watch this.